Okay, so I'm sitting there, right? I'm at my friend's house. This is probably about 10 years ago. Probably 15, 14 years old. Nah, 15 years old. And me and my friend, we're just hanging out. I got 3 other friends there, and we're just chilling. And we're gonna make a movie. So we're like, dude, let's get some props. Let's get going. So we're going around getting some props and like costume bandanas and little whatevers. And meanwhile, my friend's little brother, his dog has puppies. So she's like on the bed with these puppies, like messing with them, whatever. My friend goes, dude, I got this pellet gun. I'm sitting on a shelf forever. It looks totally real. We should use it for our movie. I'm like, yes, dude, we're doing it. So I grab the gun. We're looking at it. My friend starts messing with it. Meanwhile, I'm grabbing some other costume stuff. I look over the corner of my eye and I see my friend's little brother with the gun in hand, shooting at the little puppies, like cocking it, psh, dry shooting it, psh, you know, at the puppies. Psh, 2, maybe 3 shots go off, and me being all tough and macho with this little, 6-year-old, 8-year-old kid, I grab the gun and I'm like, hey, what are you doing to these dogs? And I cock it and I point it point blank in his face, at his forehead, touch his forehead, and I'm like, you lucky, And I get back and I think I'm all tough, right? But in my mind I'm thinking, well, if the air hits out and kind of hurts him, he's going to start crying, I'll get in trouble. So let me see if it hurts first, to the air. Let me see what it feels like. So I bring it back from his head, give him like some dirty look, point it at my hand. And I'm like, oh, that air hurts. Still think he gets air, mind you. And I'm like, dang, that air hurts. I'm like, man. My friend's like, what's going on? I'm looking around and I look at my hand, trickle of blood. I'm like, no! I run to the bathroom, I'm washing it off. I'm like, okay. And I see there's a hole, and the worst thoughts come to mind. And I look over. Sure enough, there's a little bump in the back of my hand where the pellet did not come through yet. You know what my deepest, darkest thought was? What my mom would think. She would ground me for life. My heart sinks. I'm like, oh no, so I'm like washing it off, getting all the blood, and everything. I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I have a pellet inside of me. My friend's like, oh dude, you're like grounded forever. My friend's mom, who I have no idea who she is, she comes in, she's like, oh, I'll take care of that, and she leaves. I'm like, this is where it begins. She comes in with a syringe. I don't know where she got it from, whatever. She comes in and I'm like, oh, she's like, here, let me numb it for you. Stick, like, she's sticking me like 2 or 3 times in the back of my hand, and I'm like, now I'm thinking sanitary, but then I'm thinking, ow, So she's like, okay, now that it's numb, let me cut it out. I'm like, she leaves, she comes back with a kitchen knife, not a scalpel, not anything, doctor, but a knife out of her kitchen drawer. She comes up, starts sawing at my hand in the bathroom sink, and I'm like, oh my god, she's sawing at me. Nothing happens. I guess I got tough skin, an alligator or something, right? And she's like, it's just kind of scratching it up. So she leaves, she comes back with a razor blade, like those little square razor blades. Touch, split, blood everywhere, and I'm like, luckily I'm still numb with whatever she pumped into my veins, and she comes back with tweezers. She's like, dig it out. Here you go, dig it out. So I'm like, okay. I'm sitting there digging it out, thinking, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. My mom's gonna kill me, I'm gonna die, I'm grounded, my mom's gonna kill me, I'm gonna die. Going. Finally, probably like 20 minutes later, I feel it, I can hear it. Grab, pull, out. I'm like, okay, what do I do? She's like, here, put some band-aids on it. I'm like, band-aids? So then, 1 band-aid, 2 band-aids, not even like touching the wounds, just boom, 2 band-aids back in front of my hand. She's like, you're all better now, and I'm like, thanks. Sure enough, we didn't get to make the movie. I go home that night. I'm laying in my bed, and Mom comes home from work. I see her coming down the hall. Comes in all happy, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, she's like, what's wrong? What's going on? What's wrong? It's okay, you can tell me, it's okay. I'm like, I don't want to tell you. She's like, no, it's okay, you can tell me. I'm like, I shot myself with a hand with a pellet gun. She's like, oh, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? You're grounded. So sure enough, I was grounded for, I don't know, a couple weeks. Wasn't allowed to play over there for a while, but that all worked out in the end, and I'll see if we can see it. Got me a little scar right there. I went in and the cut split where it went out right there. So luckily it didn't hit the middle. You know, that would have been bad. Right there. So anyways, that's the story of the pellet.